get started. Hi everyone, welcome to the June Talis Aspire Product Update. Next slide, please, Kate. We have a full team today. So I'm delighted to say I'm joined by Scott Gibbons, our head of product, and our two lovely product managers, Georgia and Kate. Before we start, a quick reminder of our housekeeping rules. If you have any audio issues, just rejoin the Zoom session and select Connect with Computer Audio. We encourage people to connect with each other in the chat, and please use the Q&A box for your questions, and we'll answer them at the end of the session. And lastly, this session, as always, is recorded and will be sent to you after the webinar. Next slide, please, Kate. So in today's agenda, we have new reporting improvements we're making in the next couple of weeks by Georgia. Then we'll go over the bookmarking workflow redesign, and that'll be Kate. Then Scott will look at what's coming next. I'll have a quick chat about some Talis meetup for UK institutions, and then I'll share with you when the next product update will be. And lastly, we'll answer your questions. With that said, over to you, Georgia.
Thank you so much, Juan. And next slide, please, Kate. So as I mentioned, we are doing some quick reporting improvements. And in fact, we have already done some quick reporting improvements. So a bit of backstory where these improvements came from. These came from our lovely ideas portal. So you have all been giving us some great ideas on a variety of different topics to do with Talis Aspire. And we noticed that there were quite a few that we could improve on quite quickly for reporting in the all list items report or list reports, and especially for some of our advanced MIS customer reports as well. So I'm going to talk you through some of the ones we've done, what we have upcoming, and then something that we're working on in the near future that needs a little bit of extra time and care to get right. So some of the improvements we have done. So in the all list items, the all list report, we have the time periods. They now reordered to show the recent period first. Before it was kind of a bit all over the shop. So now it shows the most recent period first, which is great. In the RL list table data in advanced MIS, we have included the data for internal note field and also list descriptions as well. And they're also in the export of the all list items, or the all list reports as well. So when you export your all list report, you have that information there. All the data for the library note and the student notes are now available in the RL items data table in advanced MIS as well. And we have a bunch of fields that we've included in the RL items data table in advanced MIS too, which is primary web address, secondary web address, online resource web address, online resource source, has a file upload, which is one of our new engage fields, and list resource content file type, which is another one of our engage fields as well. These are all available in the RL items data table in advanced MIS. We are now working on a few final bits and pieces. So the filters for the internal notes and list descriptions in the all list reports are coming, which is good. So you can filter by those things and report on them. So they're not just available in the export. And also we're looking to add in the time period refiltering. So it shows the newest time period at the top in the all list items report as well. So it's currently available in the all list report and is soon to come in the all list items report as well. And then in the near future, we're working on adding some additional metadata fields such as series, format, location, number, and court to be included in the reports as well. So we're doing a lot to improve our reporting systems in Talis Aspire itself and also for our advanced MIS customers too. Next slide, please, Kate. So moving swiftly on from reporting and taking a bit of a step back to Talis Engage. As you know, Talis Engage is now available for your institution. If you'd like to try this feature out, please get in contact with us via a support ticket to our support team and they can set you all up. They can also segment users so that only specific people can give this a go, in case you don't want to roll it out proper for the whole of the institution, like a proper rollout. So please get in touch if you'd like that. And also, if you're already trying out Talis Engage and have suggestions on how to improve it, please send us some feedback to our Heart Ideas portal. We are planning this year to do some iterative work. So Talis Engage can be improved and hopefully meet the needs of what you need even more. So please, please, please get in touch with the AHA Ideas in portal. Let us know what you'd like to see and how you think it can be improved further. We really appreciate your time on that. And with that, I believe that I am finished. So I'll pass back over to you, Kate. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Georgia. Hello, everybody. It's really good to see you. Thank you for joining us today. I'm very excited to give you the bookmarking update that I've been wanting to give you for quite a while now. Beta is ready. We have full parity with the existing system. There's the 2 new screens plus the revamped edit form. So today I plan on walking you through some of those changes and then giving you a live demo so you can get a taste for it. And then I'll invite you with the next steps. So just to recap first, we started this bookmarking adventure back in April 2023, when those of you who joined the Insights event in Birmingham voted for bookmarking, and then it got top votes for the day. So we initially started there, and then thanks to your many ideas in the AHA portal, we've used that to start shaping this change for you. And then we've come back to you several times to figure out the best way to do it. First with some design testing, and then later with the proof of concept testing. So what challenges did we end up with out of those 40 ideas? It all boiled down to these main things. How could we help your academics choose the best bookmarks in the least amount of steps? Quick, boom, boom, boom. How can we avoid overwriting the URLs? Because you all have very different needs. Some want open URLs, some want right out of the library. I will show you more on this later. And then overall, how can we fix the edit form so it's a lot more usable, more friendly? And then there's a number of other ideas, some really strong considerations that we are putting in the consideration for future improvements, and I will encourage you to vote on those. But give me a few weeks and I'll give you some updates on all the many changes that you've submitted already, the requests and the ideas. So if we just want to talk about the forms, so the current state first. If someone goes to an article on the web, such as this one on the left-hand side you see here, and clicks the extension, a form will pop up, such as what you see in the right-hand side. It's a long list of metadata. The parts in full are combined on one page. The calls to action are mostly hidden, requiring scrolling. Sometimes the text size was not convenient, or the links to remove or change the fields were too close together. So this kind of thing made it not totally easy for everyone. So what we wanted to do was look at all those issues and then just see what we can do. But I'll show it to you in a minute or two. So what's new? First, instead of going to the edit screen, we're going to go straight into a preview. Everybody needs a preview. They love to preview. It's going to make it easier. So your academic will be able to just click on the extension, glance at this view. Does it give them what they need? Is it in the library? And they can save it right then and there. We also have a few other options, and I'll show you more. I'll talk you through this when we do the live demo. But it should help you say goodbye to a long, confusing edit screen for those people that are not inherently involved with the specific metadata, though. And it should be easier for all of them. Let me move on, and I will show you what's next. In addition to the preview screen, we're also going to give you some options. So for every bookmark that they pull from the extension, we will always show what's available from the page, the source page itself. we're also going to provide you some alternatives. In this case, we found one in the library catalog, clearly marked as source, but also with the yellow badge. We had an open library version in this particular example as well. Sometimes if there's a DOI, you will pull the version from Crossref, and you'll have varying amounts of metadata, and your academic can either just choose the default or choose one that might be a little bit better for you. Feel free to instruct them as you see fit. So what else has changed? The edit screen itself has been completely revamped. We have pulled out the metadata rather than having to scroll down and find a drop-down menu and locate the fields you need. All the common use metadata fields will be right there in the box, the button box on the top right. The ones that are already in use, you can see, are indicated by gray here. And then if you do happen to need another field, there's show all fields and you can get the rest of them. For those fields that allow multiple values, it won't be grayed out and you can choose it again. And I'll walk you through the details when we do the live demo. So let's jump into that now and see if this works. All right. For my first example, I have what is probably very familiar to most of you, the Study Skills Handbook. I'm emulating being on the Discovery website search for WorldCat in this case. I've located a print version, 2019 edition, 5th edition of this book. I'm going to hit the extension. Bookmark extension works exactly like it did before. What's different now is that I'm pulling out these separate options. So as you saw on the slide earlier, we come right in and have the library source catalog version. It's available in library. It's an online resource. You're going to see the metadata on the left and the library availability with links on the right. And as we saw, there are alternatives found. So you can go right into the select screen and choose the one you want. You can look at maybe the open library version. You can compare them. This one doesn't have the library availability, however. So I'm going to go back and look at this one. And then I can just save it directly. You can add it directly to the most recent list, or you can search on a list and it'll filter to with the keywords. All the features you'll find right now, we have enter top of list, and shortly we'll also have add to section, to a given section. You'll get a success screen. You can either go to the reading list to see it, or you could go back to the original resource. I'm going to go to my test list and I see where I've added it here. Next, I'm going to take you through an article. I looked for an older article with the likelihood that we would have a DOI in it. And this particular one, actually, this is clearly not an older article, but we do have a lot of authors here. So I just wanted to, we had some feedback about authors, so I just wanted to share that with you. I've hit the extension. And it loads in from Crossref. There was a DOI found, and we have fantastic metadata here, complete with live links, shows it's an online resource, and there's only one alternative, so that tells me it's from the page itself. Details extracted from nature.com. I'll go back to the version from Crossref. And then, as we said, you can either save it directly, which probably most people will want to do, or if they needed to add or change something, they could come into edit resource. So in this case, because it's all the authors, one of the feedbacks we had was, I need to get rid of most of the authors. So you click on the ellipsis, and now you can remove the field. And you'll notice the screen's not jumping. It's just behaving very nicely for you, and you can remove it. There are other options also. Based on the feedback we got and your ideas, you're able to move the fields around. Additionally, you can convert them to editor if need be, or single and dual for authors. And you'll see based on what kind of field it is, you'll have different actions. Everything else is meant to be the same, with the exception of we put part and whole metadata on the same tab, so you don't have to jump back and forth. It should all be very contained here. If you do have any issues during this beta period, you can use the links on the blue alerts to get back to the original classic edit form. But I am hoping you won't need to, but please do let us know if you do. So my final example, I'm quite excited about this one. This time I've pulled up the study skills handbook as well, but I'm on Amazon. Say you have an academic who was looking for other versions that weren't in the library, or but in this case she found one that maybe was. This is a 2013 version. So any guesses as to what you think will happen when I click on the extension here? Well, I love this one because when it comes up, it actually finds the one in the library. So your academic may have been on Amazon, but it pulls up the one in your library catalog, save it to your bookmarks, done. So that's the excitement part on there. All right, with that, I will end the demo, and if I can get back, hopefully. Hopefully. Bear with me. There we go. All right. So what is your call to action? What are the next steps? This week, from today, we would invite you to please raise a support ticket with our delightful customer success team. We will invite you to a role and permission so that you can try out these new flows. You will have the ability to also invite others who you may want to test with you. You can completely use it 100% now. And what we'll do is over the next few weeks, we're going to be implementing some minor edge case improvements. We'll take on, if there's any critical feedback, we'll take that on as well over the next few weeks. And then what we need to do is plan when you are ready to go live. Everybody will go live eventually. So it's just a matter of planning what's convenient for you. So I will leave you with just a thought, and no need to answer, but just think about how your process and practices might evolve, where everybody has a unique workflow, how they like to work, how you like to work the best. So with that, I will hand it over to Mr. Scott Gibbons.
Thanks, Kate. Lots of questions coming in about that, so we'll get to those at the end. Thank you, everybody. Let's have a quick look at what's coming up next. So quick walk through a few things that we've done. We've done the updated extension. These are all in the fields of trying to make bookmarking easier, which is a thing Kate showed at the very start. Something happened at Insights a couple of years ago. So we did a new extension, which is now available in all the major browsers. We doing the bookmarking workflow, which will be released pretty much now. You can start using it now. And then we've got Ad Resource, which is coming up next. So let's have a look at that. Next slide, please, Kate. So the next theme is Improve Ad Resource. So this is when you are in your list and you click on Ad Resource, and you can search in there, obviously, for your Nielsen book data or your discovery system. You can search My Bookmarks. Well, this will allow you to search multiple resources. So your Nielsen book data and your discovery system seem obvious ones. But we'll look at adding other databases to that over time. Suggestions that we've had include LibGuides. We could search some OA databases. So there's various different things you could have there as search options in the new Ad Resource screen. We'll also allow you to refine your searching a bit better, have more details available before adding to a list, and some customization. So for example, I know a number of libraries call their discovery search something different, My Search, the name of your library, etc. So a little bit of customization to allow you to call that what you want. And we've just got a couple of slides to show you what that will look like. We have started doing some discovery calls with Anna, our UX person, and Kate have been on these calls with customers, having a look through what Ad Resource might look like. So Kate, if you could advance to the next slide. So this is a mock-up of what the Ad Resource might well look like. So you can see here a search has been done. you've got the results in your library, a number of different results there. You can click on See More to see more information on each one. It tells you a bit more about the book, if it's an online edition, for example. And on the right-hand side, we have other searches, places you can search. So this is in your library, but you could search outside the library catalogue. You could search in your bookmarks, and you could filter as well. So we know quite often people might search for a title of something, and there might be journals, articles, and there might be books that all have the same title. So this will help you filter a bit more, maybe just to journal articles to find the exact title you're looking for. Next slide, please, Kate. And you can see here when you see add more, you get this information, a bit more about the book, very similar to what you expect to see in Kate's just slides where you sort of preview, very similar type of box there with the information about holdings, etc. And also the option here to add the importance, so you can add that importance of the item before you add that to your list. There's a couple of preview screens. I'd say we are doing some discovery around those. Some people suggested a few things already, maybe a date filter or something that we're quite keen on. So we'll be evolving those over the next few weeks, and then the team that are working on the bookmarking will move over to Add Resource and start working on that. The next slide, please, Kate. As well as those things that are going on at the moment and the Add Resource, we've got further work planned for the end of this year, beginning of next year. So we will be doing continuous improvement work. So these are things like the reports that Georgia presented at the start of this meeting. We managed to fit those in. We'll be also looking at other tickets, some usability, accessibility features as well that people have raised. So we do plan to do some continuous improvement throughout the rest of this year. We've also got a few bigger themes that we're considering for this year and next year, beginning of next year. So tagging is planned for this year, end of 2025. There will be tagging with library-controlled vocab for tags with reporting available. So we've written out what we expect that to do, and we're quite, after doing discovery last year, and some of you may be involved in that with Lisa, when Lisa was with us, we're quite confident about what that tagging can actually be. The other items we're considering for this year, beginning next year, and this depends on what technology we use and a bit more scoping we've got to do, but certainly the improved list analytics, which I know we've talked about before. They're still wanting to improve those list analytics. We're looking at a list import and creation from different documents, from a Word document, a PDF. One of my colleagues in Talis works in AI. That's his role now, to just look at AI. And he presented a few weeks ago to me a handwritten note that he scanned in and then turned it into items on a reading list. So I was quite excited by this, as you can imagine. It seemed quite cool. So we're going to be looking to create and improve that item as well. So you'll be able to create lists, sections, etc., just from a Word or a PDF or handwritten document. And also we're looking at some OA, OER work. I know a number of you are working with partners such as Scylla. So we're going to be looking at doing integrations in OA, OER, and we've had a couple of phone calls, conference calls with Scylla and some customers to see about what other integrations, if any, we could do there. So that's all ongoing. So quite a lot planned for end of this year, beginning of next year, and should be quite an exciting time. Next slide, please, Kate, and I'll hand over to Juan.
Thank you, Scott. Next slide, Kate. I'm very aware of time, so just very quickly. So for our UK customers, we are currently organizing some Talis Insight Days. So if you want to, we would really appreciate it if you could help us shape this Insight Days. So if you could complete our survey and let us know what would you like in them, when would you like them to, those days to take place, and where. Next slide, please, Kate. And our next product update will be on the 10th of September. So you can enjoy some time off during August. With that said, it is question time. Next slide. Okay. So first question is from Nicholas Gay, and his question is around the report filtering enhancement. Will you be sending us this in an email form? Nick, I presume, Nicholas, I presume you mean if we'll be sending this information summarized somewhere. I mean, I can answer that. We'll be including any sort of update through the newsletter. So I hope that's what you mean. But yeah, any update will be.
We also send a link to a recording of this webinar, don't we?
Exactly.
So you can rewatch it as well, of course, Nicholas, if you missed the start.
Perfect. We've got another question from Nicola King. Is there any plan to look at adding hierarchy codes to the all list report in the near future?
So just checked while we were on the call, and it is in our backlog of ideas for future consideration. So it's not the near future, but for future consideration, we will look at including those. So thank you for your question, Nicola.
Perfect. Next question is from Edita, and it says, what kind of internal notes filter will be included?
So with the internal notes filter, essentially on the all list reports, you'll be able to filter and create a report of all lists that have an internal note on them. So the internal note is when you add the details of the list, so where the description is and where you can add the hierarchy. So you'll be able to filter and create reports based on any list that just have an internal note. So those could be checked quite quickly. We had quite a bit of feedback when we introduced this at the beginning of this year, perhaps maybe end of last year when we introduced this. And a lot of you wanted to be able to report on it or be able to find those lists that had internal notes on them very, very quickly. So we hope this will help with that. Thank you, Dita.
Perfect. A question here for Kate. Do you get the option to choose the importance for the item before adding it to a list, or do you have to choose the importance within the list?
Great question, Suzanne. We are trying to keep parity with the existing system. So we will have a ticket over the next 2 weeks to add in that mandatory importance. Also, as you saw from Scott's demo, we'll be adding it in for the add resource on the next theme. Thanks, Suzanne.
Perfect. Another question from Nicola. It says the multiple matches in the bookmarks filter a bit confusing, and the metadata screen still seems quite lengthy. Do you get the option? Do you have to see all the matches, or can you choose your default option?
Thank you, Nicola. I'm glad you asked this again, because this gives me another chance to really hone in the fact that anybody making a bookmarking a resource can just take the preview and save it to a list. Done.
Okay.
I will add that I would encourage you to go in and try it yourself, to sign up and try it yourself with the edit field, and then you can see how it feels to you. But your academics don't have to do any of that. They can just get the preview and save it.
Okay, next question. How does Talis know there is a linked online version shown in the book live demo? The print version appeared in the online resource tag, just to confirm that only the publish, I think.
I'll answer the first half. It looks like that might possibly be a bug, and we'll take it back and we'll verify that for you. If you want to re-ask the latter part of the question, feel free to do that in the chat at the bottom in the Q&A.
Next question is, hi Kate, sorry if I missed this, but when will we get access to the beta version of the bookmarking tool? It looks great.
Thank you so much, Nick. And the great news is today, as soon as you raise a support ticket, they will set you up so you can begin looking at it. And you'll be able to also invite any other colleagues who you want to use it as well. This will just be through the beta period, and then we'll turn you on live when you're ready. Thanks, Nick.
Okay. And one for Scott. It says, when will the app resource be introduced before the start of the new academic year?
Certainly hope so. The team will start on it beginning of July to work on that. So we haven't spec'd out all the details of how long it's going to take them, but the intention is to get that done in Q3 of this year. We'll have more to update on that in September.
Perfect. And I think that is all the questions we have.
Great questions.
Right. Okay, so with that said, thank you everyone for attending.
One more question's popped in one.
Yeah,
how quickly will the old bookmarking ad resource be turned off? Nikki's just asked. And the old bookmarking, the intention is to switch that off at the end of this year, but we want everyone to have plenty of time to switch over and be happy with that. So that period may be extended. And ad resource, we don't have a time yet for that because we haven't started building that yet. So, but we'll give you plenty of time to switch over.
Thanks, Scott. That last one's for me if you want to read that out for me.
Sure. So any news on bookmarking print and ebook for the same book?
Yeah, this is one that I brought up in the beginning. We thought this was a really great idea. We were not able to fit it into the initial time frame in order to get this out to everyone. So we have added it to the continuous improvement. I would like to get any voting on it or anything, but I think it felt like a really strong idea to us, and we do hope to do that later this year or as soon as we can. Thanks, Aditya.
Perfect. I think that's it. We don't seem to have any additional questions unless we get another one. No, okay. So we'll leave it until you're ready to hear. Thank you for attending the June Talis product update, and we hope to see you in the next one.